What's going on, internet? So recently I got bored, found myself on Etsy.com looking for products for my 2019 Ford Raptor. Upon doing some research, there's some pretty cool things on there that people make, and then there's some pretty bad things that people make. I decided to drop some coin and change up the Raptor completely with Etsy products. Alright, so we have a pile of things to install today. I dropped around $400, and I'm really hoping that this stuff isn't too cheesy. I think it should make the Gen 2 kind of cooler. Right off the bat, one of the first things that drives me insane with the Raptor, and this doesn't even pertain to the Raptor, this is just any vehicle with a push-button start, that's not having a dedicated spot for your keys. Generally, here's what happens. I get in the truck, I have my keys, I go to hit the push button start, and then I'm left to decide where I want to put my keys. Now, you're probably just thinking, put it in the middle, put it in the cup holder. Well, here's what happens. Sometimes I have stuff in here. Sometimes I have drinks in here. Sometimes there's other stuff that gets put up here because, let's be honest, no one's perfect. This usually isn't this clean all the time. So sometimes I'll have the key here, I'll have them up here. Sometimes I'll have it back here. And it just drives me insane that I just don't have a spot just dedicated just for the keys alone. And that's where this comes into play. And this is a 3D printed key fob holder. This one here, it's for the Ford. I'm sure it'll fit a lot of other ones, but there's a lot of other people making these for just like universal fit or for other makes and models. But this is going to solve a lot of my problems and a lot of my hatred. Now, I thought about putting it on the side here, but I think what will happen is I'll stick my keys there, and then the leftover keys are going to still be hanging, and it could potentially scratch this. So I don't want that, which leads me to the best possible spot that I believe you can put this, which is going to be right up here. The reason why I even like it up here is because this is normally where you'd put your keys in and start it. So it just, to me, feels natural that it goes right here. We got the tape on. This is just 3M Automotive double-sided tape. We're just going to go ahead and stick this right like so. I don't think it really matters, but we're just going to get it about right there. Boom, look at that. The leftover keys, they just hang, so they're not going to scratch nothing up. And I now have a dedicated spot for my keys. I will no longer be going insane. And I'd seen there was another type of holder. I think some people make one where it goes right here. But then you're stuck with it here. And then, like, say if you have a couple drinks, you're going to have these keys just kind of hanging. If you just have just this, that would work clutch. But I have all these keys, and I have to have them. That just makes the most sense. This next item, this is going to be something for the people that are sitting in the back seat. And I picked up these AC vent floor extenders. This is another one of those items that's 3D printed. They're kind of a little pricey. I want to say they're in like the $50 range because you get two of them because you have a floor vent on the driver's side, you have a floor vent on the passenger side. I don't typically have a lot of people in the back seat, but when I do, I want to make sure that they are comfortable, especially when it's super hot or super cold out. All that extender is going to do is it's just going to slide right over this plastic piece and basically make it to where the passengers are going to get more air. We're going to do a little simulation and see if this actually works because I never actually sat back here. So I need to see how it feels before and how it feels after so that way you guys know for sure and get my opinion. Now that the chair's in its normal spot, you can see the vent is kind of tucked underneath. We've got the truck on, we've got the AC on full blast. I mean, yeah, you can for sure feel it. It's not like the passengers aren't getting anything back here, but yeah, you can definitely feel it. So let me grab an extender, we're gonna throw it on, and I'm gonna see what difference it makes. It's pretty simple, and they make these for other makes. It's not just the Raptor, but just slide it right on until you basically get to the carpet. And the verdict is, oh, way better. This is 100 times better. If I was a passenger in the back of this truck, I would absolutely love this. So before, I was just hitting, like I could just feel it on the bottom of my feet, to where now, I literally feel it like shooting up, like at my face. Like, that's about perfect. Oh yeah, that is way better. So that was one of those things that I didn't really think was gonna make a difference. I actually didn't purchase this set off of Etsy. This was one that I found the STL file, which is what you need to 3D print it, and I had a buddy print these. So I will drop some down below that are very similar to this, and I'll also drop the file that I used in case you guys have a 3D printer and you just wanna make them yourself. Here's just what they look like after installed, after my seat's in its normal position. So it sticks out just a little bit, but it's going to be perfect for the passengers. First two interior items, success. Let's move to the exterior of the truck. This next item is something that I actually had made. You can pick this up on Etsy or you can pick it up off my website. I'll link it below. And that is a Raptor emblem for the grill. Some will say that the Gen 2 Raptor is the best for looks out of all the Raptors. I think all Raptors are unique, and I think all of them look good. And I do think the Gen 2 front end just looks super sick, and I love the way the grill is. It's just missing that one piece, and that's where this comes into play. This Ford grill is just very iconic. Just the way it looks, everything about it just looks clean. You'll see on a lot of newer cars too, they're kind of putting badges down in here, and that's where this is going to fill this void. And this is a 6x1 emblem that I had made, designed. And basically, these brackets make it to where you don't have to do double-sided tape. It literally installs in under a minute. You're probably wondering where the best spot is for this. It's designed to go in between two of these like honeycomb things. You don't want to put it in the wrong spot because I think it'll look goofy. If you put it over on this side, it's going to be too far over. And if you use these holes, it's going to be too far over to where the D is. So you're going to want to basically go to this spot right here. So third one up. And right in the middle. So basically 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All you're going to do is you're going to put both sides in at the same time and then just push these down and it's going to snap right in. That thing's locked on there. It's not going nowhere. It doesn't really wiggle. I have these in red and I have these in white. I'm not really doing any other colors. Red to me is just the standard anyway. I ran the white one for a little while, but the red just has such a better appeal to it that I don't even want to run the white font. So that right there is something simple, small, that I think Ford overlooked. They probably should have put that in when they originally made this Raptor. Even the Gen 3, I don't think it's on there. Obviously, the Raptor Rs, they do have a little R right here. To me, that adds just a lot to the grill, and I absolutely love that. And if you guys are curious, I did have them made for the Gen 1 Raptor as well. Same exact thing. It just snaps in place and it is going nowhere. I'll have them both linked below if you guys want to pick one up. But to me, those are just the simplest mod that adds a lot to these trucks. The next item that I have that we need to install on the exterior, and this is something that I picked up from Rocky Mountain Graphics on Etsy. He makes a lot of graphics for a lot of the Raptors, Fords, F-150s, things like that. And they're the actual Ford licensed material. These pillars are just known to get scratched up. You could see mine are just probably just glistening with nice old scratches from the automatic car wash. So what we did is we picked up some of these pillar covers. They're very easy to install. I actually went with the matte black one, so I'm very curious to see how these are gonna actually turn out. First thing we need to do is we need to clean up those pillars, and to install these, it's pretty simple. He gives you a little direction sheet on doing it. You just need to make a little spray formula. I'm just gonna get very messy with it. I don't even care. I just doused it because I wanna be able to just literally get it on there and almost like window tint. Literally get this adjusted to how I want. And I don't know why I cleaned this side, because I need to douse this side again. I'm going to keep an eye on this because we use so much solution that I sometimes think that I'm kind of finding a bubble here or there, so we're just going to keep an eye on it, kind of squeegee it out. We did the passenger side. I did both of them at the same time. I think it's a little easier just because you're cleaning so much solution. I didn't know at first if I was going to like the matte black covering the gloss black. This matte finish actually looks super sick. The fact that you get rid of all of your scratches and then you go to a matte finish, like look at the Gen 1. This thing is like faded. It's got like stains on it or something. So we're probably going to do that to the Gen 1 as well. This next item that I picked up, it was 20 bucks, and it might be, in other terms, a little douchey. I'll let you guys decide that in the comment section. It was 20 bucks. I figured I'd give it a try. Worst case scenario, I'm going to take it off, and it'll take like 5 minutes. I haven't even opened it yet. You're probably wondering what these are for. So on the Raptor, they have these fenders with like vents in them, and that's just to, you know, dissipate heat. These are going to go on it. And I figured these were kind of just so subtle that it could look all right. And for 20 bucks, I figured I'd try it. We just got to hit it with a little isopropyl pad. Pretty much the stuff's just going to stick on the face, not so much in these crevices. We got 3 pieces per side, pretty self-explanatory. Here, here, here. We're just going to eyeball it. And I think what we'll do is we're just going to start at one side. After hitting it with a little heat, you know, most of the bubbles worked out of it. I don't really know how I feel. Like, I don't hate it. I don't know. It's kind of subtle because it's black with the gray topo. doesn't like stick out. There's definitely worse things you could do to a Raptor. Trust me, I've seen it. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like hideous by any means since it's black already. I just figured it was something subtle to try for 20 bucks. These two pieces that I picked up, these actually go on the interior of the truck, and it's gonna go inside, like, there's like a little cubby hole in the door panel. These are just basically gonna double-side adhesive into them. They were 12 bucks for two of them. I would say quality-wise, I think they're 3D printed is what they are. The one kind of looks a little strange to me. I mean, for $12, you can't ask for a lot. I don't know if these will stay. It literally pretty much just goes up in place. And get the passenger side one in. So that's how it looks said and done. It's just like a little cubby hole. I don't even know what you'd really put in here. I guess you could use it as like a protector. Not bad. It's not bad. I will say I'll probably just run them for a while for 12 bucks. It just adds a little something to it. Now, when it comes to graphics on the Raptor, I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to me, but I just have like a love-hate relationship. Like, I like the graphics, but I don't like the graphics. And I see white Raptors all the time where they don't have any decals, and I think it looks super clean. But then there's also part of me where I'm like, it kind of looks plain. Like, I go back and forth, and it drives me insane. We're not going to take these graphics off. My truck doesn't have to say Raptor so people know it's a Raptor. I just think sometimes it looks plain. We're going to leave these for right now, but the hood ones we are going to remove, and we're going to be replacing with these. This is just going to go on the side kind of by the cowl. I think this is going to clean up the hood graphics a lot because the hood graphics, it's just those two big pinstripes. I think this is going to be the perfect in between. So we have quite the chore ahead of us because I get to remove some hood graphics. We're going to see how this goes. I'll even time myself, so if you guys are thinking about removing your graphics, I'll let you know how long it takes. You know what? I was doing a little thinking, and before we get too involved in taking these graphics off first, let's stick on the new ones first and make sure that I'm gonna like them. These ones are from Rocky Mountain Graphics as well. So it is using the OEM font, so it's none of that goofy aftermarket font. And if you're not as good with graphics, the other thing you can do, just peel up like part of it, rip it. Then that way you only have to worry about sticking this part on. You can kind of align it and see where you're at. The deciding factor if we're going to take off these hood graphics, I think it's a go. We're not going to leave both because that's just too much graphics. So I think the plan of attack is, let's remove some hood graphics. The end result, 100 times better. I'm so glad that I took the graphics off the hood. I just think that this is just a cleaner look for the Raptor. This is more subtle in a way. I probably spent about 5 minutes a piece taking the graphic off. This side had a little more of the glue left over. I had to use a little more elbow grease to take it off, but I have probably 20 minutes in removing decals and just 3M adhesive removing on this. Not a bad task at all. For sure this cleaned up the front of the Raptor though. The next item on our grocery list is gonna be these white outlined letters. And these are gonna go on the tailgate applique, I believe it's pronounced. I think these look good, and then sometimes I think it just looks fine without it. The plan of attack is we're gonna run these and see how I like it. Let's get these installed and just see how it looks. The Raptor is complete. That is all of the Etsy mods for at least right now. And there's still like a bunch more things on Etsy that you can just go through for days and days on end. So let's just kind of recap everything and rate everything on a 1 to 10 scale. And I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinion. We might as well just rank the Raptor emblem because this is made by yours truly. I think this is a perfect touch. 1 out of 10, it's definitely gonna be a 10. It's perfect. If you have a Gen 1 or a Gen 2, I'm gonna link it down below. You're gonna want that, trust me. Now, what about these topo side fender vent graphic deals? I don't hate them. They don't stick out like a sore thumb on the black. Honestly, when you have something like a topo graphic on your truck, that just means that you're into off-road things, which I never do. So that's cool. Other than that, I'm gonna have to rank these on probably like a 7 out of 10. Like I said, there's worse things you could do to the Raptor, and I think this actually don't look too terribly bad. So we'll run it for a while and see how long it holds up. These little door inserts that say Raptor, the actual idea and design behind it is actually kind of a cool little design. It's 3D printed. It's kind of not like the best. I mean, it was $12. I'm gonna rank this probably like a 6 out of a 10. If you could make a little better quality ones, I think that'd be a game changer, but for $12, I can't complain. It's gonna work for the time being. The AC vent, I'm probably just gonna give that a 10 out of a 10. These actually work. This definitely blows air right up kind of at your knees. So 10 out of 10 on those. Excellent execution. These tailgate graphics by Rocky Mountain, this definitely transformed the rear end. I really like the outline. I'm not a big fan of the solid all white. I think it's too much white, but I think the outline is perfect. And I actually already had this, but it's from Rocky Mountain. And we also went ahead and stuck on the F-150 as well. I think now the only thing I might change in the future is now that I have the red emblem up on the grill, I might keep that white, but I might change this over to red. So we might change that for the future. Overall design and the way this looks, and it kind of jazzes up the rear end on the Raptors, I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it looks really clean, and it just adds a little extra touch to the Raptor. They also have this outline for the grill, but I didn't opt to put that on. Keep that in mind as well. Then we have the sweet matte black pillar covers, which was by Rocky Mountain Graphics again. Those are awesome. I absolutely love the way these turned out. I was so sick of that glossy black, just scratches everywhere. The matte just adds just a premium look to it, and now there's no more scratches. So we'll see how it holds up over time, but yeah, I highly recommend going with those. 10 out of 10. The hood graphics, I'm very happy that I took off the OEM stripes. Those were just kind of getting on my nerves. I think taking off the hood graphics looks 100 times better, and I also just think that that looks super clean. This is what they should have done, was just a little black, not overdone it with the stripe down the middle. I know they kind of had the big hood graphic on the Gen 1. Switching to this by the Cal and getting rid of that, cleaned up the front end so much, and yeah, couldn't be more pumped. That's gonna have to be another 10 out of 10 from me. Overall, I'm pretty pumped with how these little mods came out. Otherwise, I'll drop all of the links down below. That way, if you guys want to pick something up for your truck. Yeah, if you guys made it to the end, I appreciate you. Make sure to hit that like button as it helps me out. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.